We explain gender and what it means to be transgender. Meet Kayla. Her friend Adam recently came out as transgender, but she's unsure what that means. Adam, happy to explain, lets her know that first she must recognize the difference between gender and sex in order to comprehend what it means to be transgender. Kayla is confused because she thought gender and sex were the same thing, but Adam informs her that they are very different. Sex is what everyone is biologically born as, male, female, or in some cases, intersex. In contrast, gender, which is separate from sexual orientation, is how we express masculinity and femininity. Think of a linear scale with femininity on one side and masculinity on the other. Instead of emoting one or the other based on sex, people can move throughout the gender scale freely and express various degrees of both at will, despite their biological anatomy. Since Kayla's sex and gender identity match, she is considered cisgender. However, transgender people have a gender identity that doesn't match their assigned sex at birth. In Adam's case, he identifies as a trans man, even though his assigned sex was female.
Transgenders have been found in ancient civilizations in every part of the world. Sumerian and Akkadian texts from 4,000 years ago document transgender priests, and Assyrian texts also document trans prostitutes. Evidence suggests these gender roles go back to prehistoric times and may have a common origin with third gender roles that were accepted in America before European colonization. In ancient Greece, there were trans female Gali priests and records of women dressing as men to vote, fight, or study. The Roman Emperor Elagabalus preferred to be called a lady and not a lord, sought sex reassignment surgery, and has been seen as an early trans figure. In India, texts from as early as 3,000 years ago document a third gender. In the Rig Veda, it is said that before the creation of the world, it lacked all distinctions, including of sex and gender. A state ancient poet expressed images of men with wombs and or breasts. In the Ramayana, when Rama asks men and women not to follow him, hijras remain and he blesses them. The Buddhist Tipitaka, composed around 2100 years ago, documents 4 gender categories: female, male, Pandaka, and Ubayotan Dvanjanaka. It says the Buddha was tolerant of monks transitioning to nuns. The transgenders come under the Pandaka category. In Africa, many societies have traditional roles for trans women and trans men, some of which survive in modern era amid recent widespread hostility. In India, transgenders are known as hijras. They wear feminine clothing and usually adopt feminine names, often live together in households and relate to each other as sisters or daughters. They perform at events such as births and weddings for their livelihood.
Feminist views on transgender and transsexual people and trans feminism. Some feminist and feminist groups are supportive of transgender people, others are not. Those second wave feminism argued for the sex and gender distinction. Some feminists believe that there was a conflict between transgender identity and feminist cause. That is, they believe that male to female transition abandoned or devalued female identity, and that the transgender people embraced traditional gender roles and stereotypes. Many transgender feminists, however, view themselves as contributing to feminism by questioning and subverting gender norms. Third wave and contemporary feminism are generally more supportive of transgender people. Now let's talk about the hard part, the coming out day. Transgender people differ greatly in choosing when, whether, and how to disclose their transgender status to family, close friends, and others. The prevalence of discrimination and violence against transgender people can make coming out a risky decision. Transgender people are 28% more likely to be the victim of violence. Fear of retributional behavior, such as being removed from the parental home while underage, is a cause of transgender people to not to come out to their families until they've reached adulthood. Parental confusion and lack of acceptance of a transgender child may result in parents treating a newly revealed gender identity as a phase or making efforts to change their children back to normal by utilizing mental health services to alter the child's gender identity. The internet can play a significant role in the coming out process for transgender people. There are a lot of celebrity examples. Stars like Caitlyn Jenner and Laverne Cox came out very publicly. Caitlyn Jenner was a former athlete and Laverne Cox stars in the series Orange is the New Black. They both face difficulties, but still they are very strong. Some come out in online identity first, providing an opportunity to go through experiences virtually and safely before risking social sanctions in the real world.
This is Combating Transphobia 101. Transsexuality is not a philosophy concocted by the liberal media or the Western activists. It has existed in cultures and countries across the centuries. They only seem to have been recognized recently and have started to form a part of the society. This ought to be a subject of humiliation for lawmakers and community leaders. We should be learning from our past mistakes and make sure that a whole section of the society doesn't have to face ignorance. Next up, naturality. Classifying the genders into the binaries male and female is robbing the others of their rights to their gender. Nobody gets to choose their sexuality, it is innate, determined by the genes or hormonal differences. In fact, humans are not the only species to be transsexual, the same can be witnessed in amphibians and reptiles. Nature doesn't allow for transphobia. This is the only thing unique to Homo sapiens. Next, trans inclusivity in women only spaces. Many women only spaces have been created by the government in order to guarantee safety and protect them from the risk of violence. Should third spaces be instigated for trans women for the same reason? Though the creation of third spaces is a more progressive way than washing your hands of the issue, their creation would out people as trans, which is still a highly stigmatized issue and would do more harm than good. It would be therefore suggestible that inclusivity of trans women in women-only spaces would be the most practical way to go under current circumstances.
Hi, so today I'm going to speak about the different bills or the acts that have been passed over the years for the protection of rights of the transgender people of India. The first one is the Rights of Transgender Persons Bill 2014. It is a proposed act of the Parliament of India which seeks to end the discrimination faced by the transgender people in India. The bill was passed by the Rajya Sabha on 24th April 2015 and later on introduced in the Lok Sabha on 26th Feb 2016. It was introduced by Tirucha Siva of the Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam party as a private member's bill. Many leaders tried to convince him to withdraw the bill, citing that it had impractical clauses and it was too complicated. If you keep these reasons in mind, you can obviously determine how hard the reality of such people will be in India. But Siva refused to do so because um, 29 nations had laws has laws regarding transgender rights, and further he pointed out that around 4,50,000 people in India are actually transgenders. However, this number may vary up to 20 lakh people, and the current status of the bill is that it's still not passed. The second bill that I'm going to be talking about is the Transgender Persons Protection of Rights Bill 2019. It is a proposed act of the Parliament of India with the objective to provide for the protection of rights of transgender persons, their welfare, and other matters. The bill was introduced in the Lok Sabha on 19th of July 2019 by Tawar Gehlot. This bill was a successor of the 2018 and 16 amended bill, which was highly protested and protested against by the queer community, including the lawyers, activists in India. It failed yet again because it did not incorporate principles of the previously passed Supreme Court judgment. One of the principles, right of transgender persons to self perceived gender identity without undergoing sex reassignment surgery. This basically means that the transgender community of India has the right to follow whatever, to not follow but to practice whatever gender they want without undergoing a sex operation surgery. And yet this was not one of the things that was cited in the bill of the amended bill of 2019. Another example would be mandatory reservations in jobs and educated institutions, which is still not written down as a principle in the act. Criticism was also made for lesser punishment of crimes for cisgender persons as against the transgenders. Another provision of the bill cited that they criminalized begging, which is a very popular and one of the maybe only sources of livelihood for the hijras and the joktas community of India.
So, what exactly are some of the pride symbols associated with the transgenders? A common symbol for the transgender community is the transgender pride flag. This was designed by the American transgender woman Monica Helms way back in 1999, and this was first shown at a pride parade in Phoenix, Arizona in 2000. The flag consists of five horizontal stripes in different colors, which are light blue, pink, white, pink again, and light blue too. Helms describes the meaning of the flag as follows: the light blue is the traditional color for baby boys, pink is for girls, and the white in the middle is for those who are transitioning, those who feel they have a neutral gender or no gender, and those who are intersex. The pattern is such that no matter which way you fly it, it will always be correct. This symbolizes us trying to find correctness in our own lives. Other transgender symbols include the butterfly, symbolizing transformation or metamorphosis, and a pink or light blue yin and yang symbol. This symbol has now become worldwide and international throughout different countries and is being recognized everywhere.
Do you have a penis or a vagina, or do you have both?
See, I have a friend. She was also a tomboy. But अभी उसको देखो, she grew out of it. यार, it's just a phase. उसकी शादी हो गई, उसके 4 बच्चे हैं, घाघरा पहनती है.
Oh my god, you are a woman? Where do you hide your penis when you wear a bikini?
Hi, my name is Nishtha. I am a trans woman, a researcher and a teacher, and my preferred pronouns are she or hers.
I'm Sadhya Pawar. I'm a trans man. I prefer pronouns he.
Hi, my name is Prat. I just finished my master's in clinical psychology. I identify as genderqueer or non-binary, and my pronouns are they or them.
Hi, I'm Vidisha. I'm an actor, singer, performer, and a drag king. And I'm a lesbian with a masculine gender expression, as you can see. And my pronouns are she and her.
Hi, I'm Shakti. I work in customer care. I'm a trans woman, and my pronouns are she and her.
Hey guys, I'm Mona Warren Campbell. I'm India's world first trans plus size supermodel, and you can call me she or her.
Hi, my name is Durga Gaude. I'm a sculptor, educator, activist, and I'm also India's first performing drag king. I'm a gender fluid person and my preferred pronouns are them, they and their.
हाय, मेरा नाम उर्मी जादव है, सोशल वर्कर हूँ, मैं एक ट्रांस वुमन हूँ, मेरा प्रेफर्ड प्रोनाउंस है शी या हर.
Why do you want to become a woman? You look so handsome.
देखो बेटा, लड़कियों पे छोटे बाल बिल्कुल अच्छे नहीं लगते.
ए छक्के.
तुम्हारी दाढ़ी दिख रही है, फिर भी तुम लिपस्टिक लगाते हो, तुम काजल क्यों लगाते हो?
Oh, so you're a guy from inside. Can you get pregnant?
Sex is biological. It's either male or female.
Why do you change your sex?
Oh, I would like to date you, but I'm not sure about the future because you're a trans woman. You cannot give me kids.
Them, they and their, isn't that plural?
क्या आप sitting हो या standing हो?
We're all forced into these small, little, tiny, rigid boxes ever since we're kids. And not being judged and not having to face all these prejudices by different people. It would be so cool, right?
Every time I did a research online, every appointment I took with a doctor for transition, I did it because it made me comfortable, not because it would make me more desirable for someone else.
They don't understand कि मैं जैसा हूँ मैं हूँ. I mean, I'm a male inside. That's why I'm the way I am.
Even within the population that strongly identifies as being male or female, there is a whole spectrum of identities. There isn't one conclusive definition of what masculinity or femininity is.
When I say that I'm gender fluid, the way I experience my gender is a little bit different from the way most people do. Now, there is an entire gender spectrum, and if you see if the masculine is on this side and the feminine is on this side, my gender kind of keeps bouncing everywhere in the middle. So it can sometimes be extremely masculine, sometimes extremely feminine, sometimes it could be absolutely ungendered, and sometimes it could be a mix of both.
তো লোকেদের একটু নিজেদের থেকে আলাদা লোকেদের দেখলে খুব কেমন অস্বস্তি হয়, খুব অদ্ভুত লাগে ওদের। কিন্তু আমাদের এটাই বোঝা উচিত যে আমাদের এই ডিফারেন্সটাই আমাদের সুন্দর করে, আর আমাদেরকে অ্যাকসেপ্ট করা উচিত, এরকম লোকেদের আমাদের অ্যাকসেপ্ট করা উচিত।
See, trans women mean a woman. See, but don't think that all the trans women has to go gender reassignment surgery. It is a natural process. It's a natural feeling. It's a natural skin.
लोग कई बार कहते हैं कि किसी के बॉडी में आत्मा आ गई है या फिर आत्मा चढ़ गई है. तो प्रैक्टिकल अगर देखा जाए तो अगर मैं कहता हूँ किसी से कि मुझ में यार मैं अपनी बॉडी के साथ कंफर्टेबल नहीं हूँ, मैं इनसाइड मैं मेल हूँ, तो मेरी बॉडी फीमेल की है, तो ये कभी भी कोई बिलीव नहीं करता।
I get why when we see someone who doesn't fit into our understanding of what normal is, we might feel a little threatened. And often to cope with this fear of the unknown, we resort to hatred. What we need to do is we need to get to know the person that we are prejudiced against, maybe start off a conversation with them.
बदलाव एक दिन में नहीं आएगा। अगर हम बदलाव लाना चाहते हैं तो हमें हमारे घर से बदलाव लाना होगा। अगर हम अपने घर को, समाज को बदल सकेंगे तो हम अपने भारत को भी बदल सकेंगे।
In India, there is no culture of using gender-neutral pronouns, especially when we are so occupied with using the gender binary terms, that is she or he.
But queer people have always been here, trans people have always been here, non-binary people have always been here. It's just that we're more visible now because some of us have the privilege and the vocabulary to assert our identity.
We are transgenders. We have existed in every community, every country. Our history has been erased or silenced. That's why I matter.
We are adults, you know, everybody wants to date, they want to meet interesting people, they want to have connections, they want to laugh, they want to have a drink, they want to have sex.
I was lucky that I was educated, and hence I could understand what is happening.
Gender is only a part of a person's identity and there is so much more to them.
I think all human beings should focus on is the fact that we are all human beings and respect the fact that somebody wants to be addressed in a particular way.
आप हमें ट्रांसजेंडर्स या टीजी करके बात कर सकते हैं। छक्का ये शब्द घृणास्पद है, एक गाली है।
As a gender fluid person, when we have to date and stuff like that, for example, if you just go on any apps, first thing is when you have to fill the form for gender, it's just like a proof that you're invalid because there isn't an option.